I must now come to Uttarakhand before we end this broadcast and take you through Sanjay Kumar's projections for the hill state of Uttarakhand. Let's begin with the Congress, which won 21 seats in the last elections. Sanjay Kumar is now projecting that the Congress is likely to get between 38 to 42 seats. That's a big gain for the Congress party. The BJP, which won 35 seats in the last election, is likely to come down to 26 to 30 seats in these elections. The BSP also losing ground. So from about 8 seats coming down to 2 to 4 seats. Let's look at the vote share in Uttarakhand. The Congress is likely to pick up about 7% extra vote. The BJP is not really losing much vote. It's more the BSP, you are saying, Professor Kumar, is losing vote. So why is the BSP losing vote? And this figure would indicate that BC Khanduri has actually been able to pump some life back into the BJP government, which is perceived as being very corrupt.
Again, look at this Uttarakhand election this time. If we look at the last two assembly elections, the two assembly elections have been very, very close. This time, the vote share between BJP and the Congress is much wider compared to the last two elections, and that is why we see kind of a decisive majority in favor of Congress. Earlier elections didn't give very, very decisive majority in favor of BJP or the Congress, and it's because Congress is gaining at the expense of declining vote share of the BSP and the SP, who has a presence in the Maidan region of Uttarakhand. So it looks like as if Congress will certainly get a decisive majority in Uttarakhand, and people have been very, very upset about the corruption charges, that the image of the government is very bad in Uttarakhand. People are very upset about the corruption.
So it seems, Mr. Shukla, it's more local factors that mattered. It wasn't so much national factors. It's more an election which was fought purely on the basis of the bad image of the BJP government, which Khanduri tried to resurrect but couldn't do so, and therefore they've given the Congress a chance. Who could your chief minister possibly be? Do you have some suggestions for us?
Well, again I would reiterate that it would be left to the legislators to decide their leader. That's a constitutional provision. We will abide by that only. We are not going to say who is going to be. Right now we can't even predict that who would be the chief minister. But one thing which I would like to comment about the Uttarakhand result. Rahul, according to me, 11th hour's change, keeping election in mind, never works. If you remember that Bhajan Lal was the chief minister for 3.5 years, and then suddenly Bansi Lal was brought in for 1.5 years, and people still voted against the Congress in that election in Haryana. Similarly here, they kept 2.5 years Mr.
Nishank.
I forgot the name of the Nishank. For Nishank Pokhriyal they brought. Unnecessarily they changed Mr. Khanduri and brought Mr. Pokhriyal. When they were asked why did you change Mr. Khanduri, he said the MLAs are complaining that he is not working and he is not taking decisions, and so he was basically, according to them, he was not a competent chief minister. Then they brought Nishank. Nishank was there for roughly 2 years. Then they suddenly brought Khanduri back. That Khanduri is Jaruri, that was their slogan. Then why Khanduri was not Jaruri for 2 years? And then why did you remove Nishank? When they were posed the question, they said, there were corruption charges against him. So, I mean, people, they don't forget, they vote on the assessment of the entire 5 years. So in Uttarakhand, this magic is not going, this region is not going to work for them. And we have been saying in our election campaign also that, I mean, even if you brought back Mr. Khanduri, may make a difference of 1 or 2%, but largely people are going to vote against BJP. Anti-incumbency factor will still work against them, and I think that has worked very well there.